Hello. Hi. Bang.
Bang.
It's Brandon Walker and Liam Blutman live from Chicago, and we are doing Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football show, brought to you by the wonderful and delicious Twisted Tea. I've got my peach right here, and I want to thank Lukey Blutman behind the scenes because this is a cold mamma jamma. This is a good one. So thank you, Lukey Blutman, for doing your job. Kayce, how you like Twisted Tea?
I love Twisted Tea, Brandon. As I've said from the very beginning when they joined us, that they are Brandon Walker in a can. I do love you most of the time, which means I also love Twisted Tea. They're refreshing, they're delicious, they've got all the flavors. I just, like I say, every single week, I can't wait for Twisted Tea, Brandon Walker, college football season to come. We've got the weather's changing, it's almost May. Why not grab a Twisted Tea? It's refreshing as shit. What else do you want?
Are you saying it's gonna be May?
I see. I was hoping you would pick up on that, but I
Mm-hmm.
was going to be very let down if you didn't. But I need you to sing it for me, please.
All that I do, not enough for you. You know how much I love NSYNC. I don't
Oh,
wanna
I well
lose
we
it.
jam out.
Anyway, so but finally. Okay, all right.
Finally,
No more singing. No more singing. No more singing. It's bad. It's a bad thing to do. You can't do
it's
singing.
gonna be May.
It's all right. Stop. Anyway, Twisted Tea, delicious, wonderful. They're our presenting sponsor, and we love them so very dearly. I've got the peach right now. All right, some draft cleanup to do, some others cleanup to do, some stuff. I want to have a little conversation. I want to do a little prognostication. We're all going to draft our number one player for next year's NFL draft. I want to see who can get the clip where we called it a year in advance. So we'll do that in a minute. But number one, Kayce, you like. By the way, hello, Big F. I'm sorry.
Hello, Brandon.
Uh, you more than anybody I know, absolutely just go in the tank for college football coaches. You fall in love with them, and you will do their bidding, and you will just say whatever nice things you can say about them. One of your guys that you have loved unconditionally over the years is now the head coach at North Carolina. His name is Bill Belichick.
Yes.
He is the North Carolina head football coach. Do we need to go save
hmm
him? Are you concerned at all,
Listen,
Kayce?
it was a tough interview, and admittedly I don't watch CBS mornings or whatever the show is called often. But I do know that it's one of Dave's favorites, and I think he said it on the rundown. He was like, normally that's a very feel good interview, feel good type of show. I was surprised when I saw the clip come out after I knew that. Um, there's clearly something going on. The only thing that I can say, and I did see a clip, and I know that obviously Julian Edelman and Gronk are going to always go to bat for Bill Belichick no matter what. The only thing that I can say is that I guess this is technically Jordan's job, is to be like a PR person would be. So,
Yeah.
like, she's doing her quote job. It's just not a good look when it's your girlfriend. I don't even like, the age is one thing. Like, obviously that, everybody has their opinions on that, but your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or your boyfriend jumping in at any point is going to look tough. And it was really awkward. Point blank, it was awkward. I don't even really know what to say other than that, but like, yikes, just
Well,
big yikes.
I mean, not just the interview, but it came out and they denied it. They came out that UNC was going to be on Hard Knocks.
Hard
It was going to be
knocks.
on Hard Knocks, and she put the kibosh on it. She said, "No, we're not doing that." Now it came out that she said that they have denied it. Big Av, I want to ask you to paint me a picture real quick. North Carolina starts the football season in, I guess, I'm just guessing, around August 31st. So whenever everybody else starts, scale of 1 to 100. And knowing that I've asked you, what's the chances that Kirby Smart coaches a game this season at Georgia, you would say 100. If I said Deion Sanders of Colorado, you'd say 100. If I said Ryan Day at Ohio State, you'd say 100. Is it 100% we see Bill Belichick coach a game at North Carolina?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I'd be pretty surprised if you remove, because I think people are starting to take this like I think people are starting to make this a thing where like Bill Belichick's brain is like deteriorating. Unless I understand he's an old guy. I don't think that's the case. I just think he's whipped them to young pussy. I think that's simply what it is. I don't think it's anything more drastic than it is a old ass man who is just wrapped around the finger of this young girl. I mean, if you see some of the footage from her at like the spring practice,
Yeah.
she's walking around in this fucking light baby blue and dark blue silk robe, like she's the fucking queen of North Carolina. I was like, oh my, I mean, she's talking to him. It's in the middle of practice.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I know I said last week or the week before, like, this was a proud man who was one of the alpha leaders of men. Can you imagine this guy coaching up Tom Brady on these Super Bowl runs and having just like his wife like run up in the middle of practice?
Yeah.
Like you actually can, there in the footage, you can see one of the UFC, a coach, I'm assuming on North Carolina staff. You can almost like a mental eye roll. Like you can see he's like, oh my God, like what are we doing? Like I'm talking to coach and his 24-year-old girlfriend, who is, it's not even her age. Like she's done nothing. Like she just went to college. Like it's not like she like did anything to be in this position to call these shots, or like she was even like in marketing. Like she did nothing to be in this spot other than, let's go suck Bill Belichick's dick. That's all it is.
I made the point. I made the same point on most.
It's
I made the
just
same
truth.
point on Mostly Sports the other day. You're exactly right. Like everybody's wanting to psychoanalyze, and everybody's wanting to say, should we do this? Should we do that? Ultimately, Belichick is a 72-year-old man, 73-year-old man who's gotten a hold of something that is absolutely mesmerizing to him. And say what you want, but it's undefeated, man. It is undefeated and untied throughout history, and it's got our boy right now, Kayce. It's got our boy.
Listen, like I said, like age is one thing, but like every time you talk about Jordan Hudson, you say, well, she's 24 years old. And it's like, okay, how many times in history have we seen older, successful men well into their life have a very young girlfriend? It doesn't matter who it is. Like this is, oh yeah, of course you are. This is not a new thing. I do think that it is like very glaring because she is so in front of the camera, not meaning to be. Like her interjecting and saying, well, we're not talking about that. That's gonna just obviously rattle a lot of people because it's like, what's happening? Like this man can obviously answer his own questions. He's done it for decades. He's won, a million Super Bowls. But then there's the added element of like, well, where did they actually meet? I actually don't give a shit. I don't know if people care or not. I don't care. They're obviously in a serious relationship. But because she does that, she purposely then does open the door for people to ask about their private life. Because I've seen a lot of people argue that too. Like, well, why do we care about this man's private life? Well, she makes it public. She's the one who started his Instagram. She's the one who posts the photos. And, I think Dave said it. A lot of people said, like, did Bill Belichick even know that he had an Instagram? I have no idea. But she has put them in the public eye. And then doing that, obviously, is going to ask, people are going to be like, well, where'd you actually meet? I don't care. She clearly doesn't care. And he most certainly doesn't care because she's got a hot young thing.
Blutman, right now it's a Bill Belichick story, right? Bill Belichick going on CBS this morning, and Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. In again, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it is, 3 months. I don't know. I have no idea where we are right now. What's a North Carolina fan thinking about this? What is it? If you're a Johnny North Carolina fan and you hired Bill Belichick to resurrect your program and to give your program notoriety, and all indications are so far so good as far as the football front, as far as I know. But are you a little nervous? Like, all right, this is a reality show we didn't sign up for, or will it be like Colorado fans who get the reality show and they're like, this is exactly what we signed up for?
I think they are going to be a little nervous come late September, middle of October, when Jordan Hudson's, doing her thing, and she's not getting that buzz for ACC Coach of the Year. And the UNC fans are going to be saying, well, she's doing an incredible job here.
Yeah.
Why is she not getting more consideration as one of the best coaches, one of the best people in the ACC? That's why I think this is. She has completely hijacked this man's life, Brand Walker.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. If I'm a UNC fan, I don't know what to say because
Turn Blutman up.
That's not Bill Belichick. That's not Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if his mic is on. He might be coming through my mic. They could be lying on the chat, but a couple of the guys that said it are not our typical shit talkers.
He's coming through your mic.
Yeah. So let's turn Blutman's mic on if we can. It is on. Well, can we turn it up?
That's 1, 2.
That sounds a lot better.
Okay.
That sounded a lot better. To me, yeah.
So what I was saying was,
I think it's still.
No, that doesn't sound better.
It still sounds like it's coming through your mic. No, it sounds like it's coming through yours.
I thought it sounded better.
It sounds worse.
Chad, you hear me? Hi, Chad.
No, bad.
Not better at all. Not better at all.
Bad.
Well, we might have a thing where this might be something we've all prayed for, that Blutman doesn't get to talk on this show.
No.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Blutman just said that I'm the number one ball knower in America. I appreciate that. What?
Yeah, I'm talking. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm the number one ball watcher?
You hear me? You hear me?
Brandon Walker is the number one ball watcher.
Relay that I said UNC fans are going to be angry that Jordan Hudson's not winning ACC.
UNC fans are going to be angry that Jordan Hudson's not winning Coach of the Year.
In the ACC.
We heard that part.
Yes, and Kayce, you look beautiful today.
Yes, and then that.
Oh, thank you, Liam.
Welcome. And that Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson's relationship, despite the fact of 50-ish year difference, reminds me of my grandpa and grandma.
What? Hold on. Hold on. Bill Belichick and
What?
Jordan Hudson being 50-year difference reminds you of your grandpa and grandma?
Yes.
How old was your grandmother?
They were about the same age, years difference. It's about
They were the same age. How?
the way that Gramps was being just brainwashed by Gramps and the manipulation of everything. That's why.
Do you not like your grandmother?
No, Grandma's good. Grandma's good people.
She's still around? Good for her.
Grandma, but we all know in the fan.
All right. I need your mic to work if you're going to talk. I need your mic.
Yeah, get Mega Mike.
I mean, I
There, we can hear him now.
using this mic
Yeah.
today and it works.
Not
fine.
on that mic, on this mic.
This one.
No, she said we can hear you now.
You can hear.
I'm
Liam
about
now?
to blow my brains out. Somebody
No,
give
on the
him a
new
mic.
one. We can hear.
No, on the
We
new
can
one,
hear
I
him
think
on the
we're
new
both-
one.
There you go. Attaboy, Lukey.
Hi.
Yep. Better.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Hey. Hi.
That's
How you
better.
doing?
Perfect.
Yes,
a little
we
bit
can.
more
Hi,
enthusiasm
Blutman.
now that you have a
Yeah.
working mic.
Hey. Doing well. How are you guys? Happy to be here. Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick, just like grandma and grandpa to me. That's why I said, yeah.
Again, hold on. Your grandmother and grandfather were the same age.
Yeah, and again, it was I guess first time for them, the manipulation stuff and the brainwashing. Bill Belichick to me looks very helpless.
Your grandfather
and-
was helpless?
I don't know if these are the words I would say. I would just say a bit brainwashed and starting to maybe brain deteriorate, dementia style.
He was an old man.
Bill's an old man. Is he not?
Was your grandmother
Not
hot?
that old.
That's not something that Liam Blutman needs to speak about.
Lukey, was your grandmother hot? All right, fine. Okay, whatever. Okay, all right. all right.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Blutman, just like Brandon said, anytime a man is being told what to do, it's because he has got a woman that is telling him what to do that he wants to keep around, regardless of the age. So for whatever reason, Bill Belichick is allowing Jordan Hudson to do this. The only thing I would say if I'm a North Carolina fan right now is that how good of a coach he is at the professional level. We obviously know that. Regardless of what happened at the end with Robert Kraft, which by the way, that was equally as awkward in that interview. The problem is that there are outside distractions now. Now you've got CBS coming out today saying, hey, we didn't do anything wrong. We aired exactly what we said we were going to air. CBS is telling TMZ or whatever that TMZ got the info that Jordan interjected a ton, and that's the reason they kept it in. If I'm a North Carolina fan, I'm more concerned about that than Bill Belichick coaching. I'm more concerned, what are we doing? It's April, and the only headlines we have right now is this girlfriend, regardless of age, creating media hysteria right now. That's the only thing I would care about. I don't think I would give a shit if they're winning games.
I think I'll say what everybody's thinking, whether it be Jordan Hudson or anybody else. Women just don't belong around football. And the quicker we can get women out of football, the quicker we can get women off the field, and the quicker we can get women back to where they ought to be, the better for everybody. Agree, Liam?
Brandon Walker, your
Yes,
mic wasn't
yes.
working. I couldn't hear you. I actually want this to me feels like the start of something that just completely unravels, and a lot of people start feeling bad about Belichick in the fall. And they're like, this to me is something that feels like it could get dark.
What if she breaks up with him, she dumps him, and he rips off 14-0 national champ, 15-0 national champs, however many games it would take now. He just rips off. He just goes fucking buck wild crazy on college football, just dominates. Then we gotta give him new pussy every spring.
Yeah.
Yes, no,
And
Big
women gonna be signed up.
I mean,
for
no,
it.
then she's a goddamn winner. I mean,
yeah, but
that gets the Brady monkey off his back. I won without Brady. I got my own Brady.
it turns into he's never won without Brady or a 24-year-old pussy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's that comment. Well, if she sleeps with the quarterback is such a disgusting possibility. She
God,
could cheat on the
imagine.
head coach with the player. And
No, no,
I mean,
no,
I guess
no.
theoretically
No,
anybody could
she's.
cheat with anybody.
correct, but the age difference here, the age kind of makes.
But here's the thing.
Oofta,
I gotta
that's
give
tough.
I gotta give her credit. I gotta give her credit. It may look like she doesn't know what she's doing, but she clearly knows very, very well what she's doing. That girl is not messing around with her status right now. And the fact that Bill is allowing her to do it, and this is like Brandon, you've said it a million times in a much more crass way than I'm about to say it. Any man that's listening, no matter what age, if you find a girl that is having sex with you and in a relationship with you that you find as gorgeous as he finds her, especially when you're an old man and she's a young woman, you're going to do what she tells you. That is the point blank. History has told that story a million times. As long as he's winning football games, nobody should care.
I just think the age difference is too much. My girlfriend's 26, and that's about, let's see, what am I?
And
That's
you're
12 years.
56.
That's
Well,
12 years
you're
difference with me.
56.
12 years difference. I'm 38.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
26. We get along just fine. My wife is, let's see, we've been married 20 years. My wife is 22. So it's
You are
what?
revolting.
Yeah. Everybody
You're
relax.
revolting.
Everybody relax. All right. I got to tell you something right now. If you're looking at me right now, you can see. Put my single camera on if you can't. Thanks. Look at those wavy, beautiful, luscious locks. Look at that hair. Look at that. Look at that sexy man looking back at you. You know why? An investment in your hair is an investment in yourself. Nutrafol, the #1 men's hair growth product out there. Just like hitting the gym or upgrading your wardrobe, taking care of your hair can boost your confidence, help you look and feel your best. That's too close to my hair. That's showing my fat face. The hair is fine, but you're showing my fat face. You may have heard of Nutrafol's hair growth supplements and wonder, do they actually work? It's a good question. Many hair supplements overpromise, underdeliver. Not Nutrafol. They're different. As the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, is trusted by over 1.5 million people, clinically tested to deliver real results in just 3 to 6 months. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men. Enter the promo code UR. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com/men, spelled Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code UR. That's Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code UR. All right. So
Brandon,
yeah.
You forgot.
What?
Nutrafol has the glow up of the week segment. So go on back and tell us who your glow up of the week is.
Well, I
Presented
wasn't.
by Nutrafol.
I wasn't handed that information.
Hand up. My computer simply will not turn on. I'm gonna have to text Pete, so I'm on my phone, which means I don't have the ads in front of me.
So
that is my fault.
You're saying we don't have it?
I do not see it.
Wait, we don't have it?
I don't know that we have it.
Yeah, I do not see it on the ads.
I thought we had it every week.
Hey, I don't know, but I'll go ahead and do it. The Nutrafol Glow Up of the Week, my Nutrafol Glow Up of the Week. Can I just say my Nutrafol Glow Up of the Week is somebody who was criminally under-talked about last week. Last week when they had the NFL draft, everybody in the world won't talk about Shedeur Sanders. Everybody in the world won't talk about this and that and the other. Mel Kiper had a meltdown in front of live TV over Shedeur Sanders because apparently Mel Kiper and Deion Sanders are making out or something. I don't know. But the guy who was talked about the least was the #1 pick of the draft. You want to talk about a glow up? How about starting your career at Incarnate Word and then going to Washington State, then going to Miami, getting close to playing for a playoff, doing your part, getting close to a Heisman Trophy, and now being the #1 pick of the draft? Everybody everywhere is talking about everybody but Cam Ward. Guess what? He's the #1 pick in the fucking draft. Let's talk about him. And let's not talk about guys that went in the 5th round. And that is my Nutrafol Glow Up of the Week.
That's respect.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna set Ev up here with my Nutrafol Glow Up of the Week. It's the new quarterback for the New York Giants, and that's one Jackson Dart. because Jackson Dart going in the first round. And I mean, Brandon, credit to you. You've been talking about how you thought he should go before Shedeur for a long time. There are obviously people saying that. But the fact that, obviously he was a good quarterback at Ole Miss. He was a great quarterback at Ole Miss. They didn't win all the games they needed to. But the fact that the Giants traded up and there was all the drama, like, are they going to take Shedeur? You go to commercial and Jackson Dart gets that. And they truly believe in this kid to go up and trade up to get him. And Ev, you and I were texting, like, that is like, if you're a Giants fan, you obviously have to be impressed with it because they're making the right decision. But if you're Jackson Dart, you gotta be like, holy shit, like I'm a New York Giant now and I'm a first round draft pick. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Dable loved him. Dable clearly loved him. I like what the Giants did. I think if you notice every single player the Giants drafted, I think this is I'm hoping this could be like a pivotal draft class in like the future of the Giants. Like, I think they got some gritty, confident guys, good football players. I like what they did. I had said I wasn't the biggest Dart guy in the world. I think he definitely needs to sit for a full year. But I think Dable's a great quarterback guy. So, I mean, if he identified him as he's the guy, he wants a year to work with him, he starts day 1, 2026. I'm good with it. I like it.
All right, that's Nutrafol's
Nutrafol Globe of the Week.
Globe of the Week. I want to talk about the draft a little bit right here, and I really do think it went on long enough. Did you have one? Well, we did a.
You're good. Good.
What was yours?
You're good.
You didn't like yours.
No, you're good.
Don't look at me like that.
We're just doing the podcast together.
All right. Anyway. So you're gonna stop me and look at me every time we do something?
No, you're making me laugh.
Can I say something about the draft? I really thought, and I made the point about Cam Ward just now. I really thought the commentators and the ESPN guys and everybody who every time a quarterback was picked, they chose to ignore or shit on that quarterback. When Dylan Gabriel got picked, by the way, great accomplishment for Dylan Gabriel to be a third-round pick. The guy went through some adversity early in his career. He ended up going to Oregon. He ended up going to Oklahoma, put up big numbers, was a very good, solid quarterback. But when he got drafted, everybody shits on Dylan Gabriel. Everybody shits on the Ole Miss kid, Jackson Dart. Everybody shits on Tyler Shuck when he got drafted. Guess what? That's a fucking great thing for Tyler Shuck that he got drafted at number 40. It's not his fault that Shedeur Sanders bombed all the interviews and put out bad tape. That's not his fault. I don't understand why every commentator shit on every other quarterback but Shedeur Sanders when the NFL was telling them the entire process he was never going to be a first-round pick. Am I crazy? Big F.
No. I don't think you're crazy about it. Obviously, we disagreed on Shedeur in terms of what we think about him as a quarterback, but I'm not going to melt Kayce for this thing. I'm not like emotionally attached to the take. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. But no, I agree with you. It definitely was wild to have a guy like him just take over the entire coverage, just everything. Like you said, it didn't matter who got drafted. Now, do I disagree with taking these quarterbacks over him? I do, but that doesn't really matter. And I don't think that should really play into, like, maybe if Mel Kiper wanted to just note it real quick, like, sure. But I think by that point, by the time it happens with Dart, it happens with Shuck, it's like, we get it, pal. You like Shedeur better than all these guys. We get it. Talk about them. Give them their moment. I get it. It definitely took over. It almost was waiting for him to get picked just so it would stop. But at the same time, I was so intrigued by, like, every moment because every quarterback get picked, and I'm like, oh, my God. Because I will say, even not to shit on Dylan Gabriel, I did think that was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Big Ev, while we're here, you talked about the Giants draft. I don't know that I like any pick in the draft more than getting Scatabo in the 4th round. I thought
amazing.
I thought that was great. Although I don't like the Patriots. I hate the Patriots. In fact, the Patriots just sitting back where they sat and getting Travion Henderson was also a phenomenal pick. Yeah. I don't know why. I can't tell you why Quinshon Judkins went ahead of Travion Henderson. I don't understand it. I don't think he's got the top end speed. I don't think he's got the pass catching ability that Travion Henderson. You're an Ohio State fan. Any guess why that happened?
I think they view him as more of an every down back. I think the only thing that Travion doesn't do well is run between the tackles, and I think he can do it, but he hasn't been great at it. But I think he's phenomenal at everything else. Yeah. He definitely has more top end speed. They're both phenomenal pass blockers, but I think it's huge for rookie running backs. I feel like that usually is the problem. Both of them are really, really good at it. I definitely thought Travion would go first, but I think you just see more of an every down back, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs ain't running between the tackles as much as Dave Montgomery is, and Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best He's one of the best running backs in the league. I feel like
I agree
Travion
with
Henderson
you.
can have Jahmyr Gibbs' career.
Hey, no, I agree with you. I think Trayvon's ceiling is higher. I think he's more of a home run hitter. I agree, but I think Judkins will be a good back.
Yeah.
The Judkins pick, I think we could just put up as kind of the Browns doing the Browns thing.
Yeah, but the Browns are interesting. Like the Browns got the Browns traded back. They got Mason Graham, who I think is going to be, speak of whatever you want about that fake national title they won, but he is a fucking player and a half. And they got a first round pick in addition to getting him.
Yeah,
So
the first round pick next year is incredible. They started the draft. I thought they aced the draft in the first 5 picks.
and listen, as much as I told you, and I wasn't a fan of Shedeur in the process, I'm sure as hell a fan of getting him in the 5th round.
Yeah, I know, but also after investing a 3rd round pick in the Gabriel is tough. They double dipped at running back with Judkins and Sampson. They're double dipping at positions, hoping that one hits, but they're also probably taking a quarterback early next year. So, what we're just burning draft capital for the sake of burning draft capital. What does that do to accelerate your franchise?
Yeah, but if
and
one's
rebuild, nothing.
If one's a 3rd and one's a 5th, and you could possibly think that enhances your odds of guaranteeing one of them hits, I think that's a worthy shot, especially when you have a quarterback room that could use competition and could use. It's going to be wide open anyway. Anyway, couple more draft picks that I really, 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 really liked. They got Fannin too.
Yeah,
I kind of like Fannin.
They had their draft was honestly like someone random generated the most fun players in college football.
Yeah,
that's what their draft was. Just straight up.
Thought the Giants had a good draft.
Baltimore.
I thought, I don't know about Baltimore. They got Malachi Starks.
Baltimore got Malachi Starks at the end of the first round. Mike Green at the end of the second.
Unreal. On Mike Green at the end of the second's ridiculous.
He's the outfield stuff's obviously an issue and a worry, but
yeah, but I think Baltimore is a good place to go if you have Baltimore usually is buttoned up and a pretty good place.
Correct. And they drafted Justin Tucker's replacement, Tyler Loop, who swears he could hit from 70. They got Bilal Cohn from Western Michigan, who's a good scrappy corner. Like they got dudes.
Yeah. They got dudes.
They got their guy, actually.
The Falcons are the ones that kind of confused me. Trading back up in the first round to get James Pierce, that I thought was a disappointment last year. But you know what? What do I know? I'm just an idiot. Ready to win Mother's Day and cement your reputation as the best gift giver in the family? Of course you are. Give the moms in your life a digital or an Aura digital picture frame preloaded with decades of family photos. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter, and it's easy to see why. What are you doing? Why are you leaning out and looking at me like to say stop?
I was getting him to check his phone so he could twist the knob on the mic and extend it.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that was the right time to do that?
I thought we do eye contact only.
Okay. Well, you guys are brothers.
My bad, Brandon.
Brandon.
Yes.
Let me talk about the Aura frames because I actually have one. Then you can do the
I have one too.
Oh, you do?
I have Kayce. I am the best gift giver you know. For Christmas, I got my wife an Aura picture frame for upstairs and for the kitchen. So whenever she's cooking or cleaning, doing what a wife is supposed to do, she can look. There's pictures of me and my kids and me and everybody right there just saying, good job. Maybe add a little salt.
You are the worst. It is one of the best.
I preloaded the Aura picture frames with recipes.
You're the worst. You are the worst. No, they really are such a good gift because like I gave one to my mom with like pictures of my son and then obviously me and my sister when we were younger, and she talks about it all the time. Then I got one for Christmas and I absolutely love it. Like it's just so simple, it's so easy, and it is one of those things where it's like, I mean, not just for Mother's Day, Father's Day, presents, anytime, because like everyone wants constant pictures, and like I'm somebody who wants to see photos all the time, and I'll go into my iPhone and look at it. Now they can actually be like displayed for other people to see, and you don't have to like go and print out a million photos. It's one of the best gifts you can give, and it's so simple, but it's so thoughtful and meaningful because anybody can use it however they need to.
That's Aura picture frames. Let me get it back. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's auraframes.com. Promo code ROUGH. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. All right, here we go. You got a 2-minute drill, by the way?
Well, no, because I thought we decided we have enough, but I can obviously come up with one real quick. But can I say something really quick? Because I know that obviously I do my best to spin zone a lot. And I do agree with Ev. I think Shedeur is a much better quarterback than he got drafted. But one of the things that was made very, very, very clear this past weekend, do I think all 32 teams colluded together and said, let's not do this? No. But I will say that the message that was sent was, hey, you're not your dad. You are not Deion Sanders. We know that Deion had apparently sandbagged interviews when he was in the draft process. Social media didn't exist, so we didn't get to see it as much. But he was the greatest of all time at his position. What the NFL said to Shedeur and ultimately to Deion was, hey, like, we're not putting up with this. You're not good enough for us to put up with the behind the scenes stuff. And if that's not a wake up call for Shedeur going into Cleveland with that quarterback room, because listen, I don't think he's going to start in week 1. He could absolutely win that starting job, in my opinion, with that quarterback room if he actually takes it seriously. And I'm not saying he didn't take it seriously at Colorado, but he was given the gift of being Deion Sanders' son. And that obviously came out in such a way that rubbed 32 different teams in the wrong way. And that was a message that was sent. And there's nothing else to say about it. Like, I think he should have been drafted higher. I think he's a first round talent quarterback. Sliding to the 5th round is fucking crazy to me. But obviously a message was being sent, and now it's up to Shedeur to figure out, like, where do you go from here?
For as much as he got clowned this past weekend, I actually think he gained a decent amount of fans from it and people that actually want to see him just get on the field and succeed and prove 32 teams wrong who kept passing up on him and row him off their boards and everything. And I do think, like, the prank call thing was gross, and I think he really handled that in an admirable fashion really well. And this guy who everyone did think was going to be a bona fide first round pick, and the stock kept dropping at the worst possible time, whatever. I thought he handled it all very, very well, very professionally. He wasn't getting beat down about it. He was saying, this is an opportunity for me to just, like, whatever. It's God, is what God had intended for me. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to get to work and just be better. I think he really did make a lot of fans this weekend, and one of the worst weekends of his life.
All right.
I saw he has the #1 rookie selling jersey already. So I mean, obviously people were tuning in, and as far as like, we were all watching to see when he was going to get picked. Like, the ratings on Saturday, like, say what you want about him, obviously, like, people, I mean, I hardly ever sit in front of Saturday in front of the draft and watch every single pick the way that I did until he got picked. It was crazy. It's just like, is he going to go undrafted? I was texting the group text, like, is there a possibility he's just not going to get drafted? And we had that full conversation. So he still was getting the attention, not just from the media, but Mel Kiper's meltdown, obviously, which was weird. But I mean, he pulls headlines, he pulls numbers. So we'll see what happens. But it was very clear, like, this isn't Colorado, brother. This is the NFL, and so we're not putting up with it. Go out and prove that you deserve to tell everybody you were like in the bad position in the draft or whatever. But, like, you're not your dad. Period.
I thought that that prank call was sickening and stupid and awful, and I also believe the Falcons getting fined $250K and the defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, is it Jeff? Getting fined $100K is one of the biggest, dumbest overreactions I've ever seen in my life. That was not a $350,000 mistake. That was stupid. It was all stupid. The entire thing of that prank call was stupid, and we shouldn't even talk about it. We shouldn't even give that kid a second of airtime, because it was just, you shouldn't encourage bullshit like that. Now, let's call our shots. I'm going to use the DraftKings odds as a template for the players I'm about to say. But I'm not going to say the odds because I don't want your pick to be based on, well, this guy I like him because he's plus 2,500 and I think he could be the guy. I simply want to go around the room and I want you to tell me who the #1 pick of the 2026 NFL draft will be. Now, the guy with the best odds, the leader in the clubhouse right now, is Arch Manning, quarterback from Texas, who hasn't really played much meaningful football at Texas yet, but we all anticipate him being very good. #2 is Drew Aller, quarterback from Penn State, a guy I've been higher on than most throughout the years. #3 is Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. #4, Lenora Sellers from South Carolina. #5, Cade Klubnik from Clemson. #6, TJ Parker. What do you think about TJ Parker?
You want me to say now? Because this was who I was going to pick.
You're
Oh,
picking
wow.
TJ. Okay, all right. Then don't say it. Caleb Downs is up there. He's number 6. I just or 7. I can't see a safety going number 1, but whatever. Keldrick Falk, Francis, how you say Margoa?
Yeah, that's good.
Carson Beck. That's rounding out the top 10.
Carson.
And I'll just go with a couple more just for shits and giggles. Sam Levitt's up there from Arizona State. Nico Iamaleava. The chat says, is Arch even coming out next year? Well, if you're predicting number 1 pick of the draft next year, you need to consider, will he come out? So that's up to you as far as predicting it. Let's see. Harold Perkins Jr., Dante Moore, Caden Proctor from Alabama, Kyron Drones, John Mateer, Tyreek Sapp, and on and on and on. Aiden Childs is down there. So I will go ladies first, starting at the top left. Kayce Smith, who will be the number 1 pick of the 2026 NFL draft.
I mean, it's a chalk pick, and yes, he has, some of the highest odds, but I do think it's Arch Manning. I actually had a question that we can follow up after this, but what happened with Quinn Ewers in going into the draft, and like what was potentially projected for him to make in an NIL deal if he did stay for one more year in the transfer portal? Like, that's a whole different conversation to have. But I do believe that where Texas is right now, and knowing what obviously the NFL and the Manning family and all of that I believe he is that good of a quarterback. I believe that for Quinn Ewers to even transfer out or enter the draft early is because they know how good of a quarterback he is. And that when you come from a family like that, if you have one hell of a year, you take Texas even further than they've already been, which was a Final Four team, like, you truly have the bet. Like, that's the best time to come out. And I think that if he even remotely tries to decide to stay, it's because they aren't 100% sure he's going to be a first-round draft pick. And I think that he is going to be 100% a first-round draft pick. So I would think he would go number 1.
I hate when dumb people make it to our chat. Austin says Arch has less than 1,000 passing yards in his career, by the way. No fucking shit. That's why we're projecting the number 1 pick, you fucking idiot. Take that shit somewhere else. Go suck Josh Pate's dick. Oh, by the way, he's only got 1,000 passing yards in his career. No fucking shit. We know that. We are projecting who the number 1 pick will be by projecting what he might do. You dumb
And
cunt.
this go off, King. This is also where, like, you have to kind of, like, zoom out and look. Quinn Ewers obviously didn't stay healthy the entire time he was at Texas. But Quinn Ewers being, the biggest high school recruit we had seen at the time, getting the $1 million to leave high school early, go to Ohio State, transfer to Texas, and then what he was doing at Texas, like, he's a fucking great quarterback. Took them to the playoffs the way they were, and he still was entering the transfer portal. It wasn't like it was a situation where, like, he was kind of playing well, but they knew Arch. Like, that was his job if Arch Manning wasn't sitting directly behind him. So that to me is another, very obvious reason that Arch Manning is going to have one hell of a season, or Sark wouldn't have let that happen.
But based on what, Brandon? What have you seen from Arch that says number 1 pick? I don't know. Size, measurables, pedigree. Like, there's plenty. There's a reason he was one of the number 1 overall players in his recruiting class. There's a reason he is the day 1 starter for Texas next year. Like, we are projecting going forward based on what we have seen, what he has brought to the table. Like, we are absolutely projecting. We don't have proof, but we are thinking, boy, if Arch is everything he's cracked up to be. So Austin says, so he's Lenore Sellers. No, he can throw. He has an arm.
Yeah.
No, he's saying, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, boy, I don't want dumb people here. So I guess you're going to have to leave, Liam.
Fair. I guess you're going to have to leave, too.
Also, like, the fact that it's not just projecting when you know how talented he. I mean, yes, it's projecting draft picks, but, like, if he is somehow a bust, I feel like that would be one of the biggest busts, and I'm talking about college, not in the NFL. Like, it's like what lies we're being sold just because his last name is Manning. Like, this isn't, like, take the last name off the jersey. Everything that we've heard and that we've seen from a tape standpoint thus far is that he's pretty fucking good.
Neighborhood Nick says Shedeur was overrated because of his name. Anyway, my number 1 pick is Arch Manning. I didn't say Arch Manning. He's not going to be my number 1 pick. I'm just telling you why she would say what she said, and she did not. She never said Shedeur was overrated, and Shedeur was overrated. I don't know if it was because of his name or not. He was overrated as hell. I don't know if Arch Manning's overrated or not, but I know why I know that draft people are excited about him coming up and getting draft eligible. I know that shit.
I don't think people realize that a 6'4", 225 tank of a man who's going to continue growing and developing, getting stronger, faster, processing better. The people in the chat or anyone out there that's actually, trying to calm down on Arch Manning, I wouldn't do that. Watch the kid play, watch him grow, develop, get better. This guy is going to be very, very good, and I think it's a mistake to say, get the Manning out of here. No, nepotism
Well,
again. That's
all right.
Hold on. On top of that, just to like, I've obviously been very high on Shedeur. Shedeur was given his job at Jackson State and given his job at Colorado because his dad was the head coach. We know that. And I'm not saying he wouldn't have won a job elsewhere, but like, we know that Arch Manning came into Texas and beat out Quinn Ewers for next year, and Quinn Ewers took them to the playoffs. Like, this is not the same story as Shedeur Sanders. It's just not.
I'm also arguing with a clear South Carolina fan. That is maybe the dumbest fan base in America. So I don't know what the point is. That's on me. I'm sorry, Arkansas. You're the dumbest fan base in America. I didn't mean that. I apologize. Anyway, Big Av, who's the number 1 pick in the 2026 draft?
This is tough because I've been a nuts bus guy from day one. I'm gonna go with a different quarterback. I don't think it's Arch. I think Arch stays. I think he stays again. I think he's the number 1 pick in the 2027 draft. I'm gonna go with the guy that I've done kind of a 180 on the last.
God damn it, he's gonna take my guy.
Cade Klubnik.
Yeah.
Because when I see this is my thing with Cade Klubnik. After watching
Fuck
this,
you.
This is really what it is. You're gonna see scouts fall in love with guys like Lenore Sellers and Drew Aller because they're bigger. They have bigger arms. They weigh more. They're taller. Cade Klubnik, I think, is a better football player than they are. I think he's Drew Aller. I like Drew Aller. I don't love Drew Aller. He makes some throws that you go, wow, and I get it. And he's going to be the guy at the pro day that scouts are going to be salivating over. And Drew Aller might very well be the first overall pick. I'm going Cade Klubnik. I think he's a better football player, better thrower. I think he's a little more athletic. He's just not quite as tall, not quite as thick, not quite as strong. Better football player. Cade Klubnik, number 1 overall. So
I also love Aller. I've been high on Aller. I think people judge Aller more harshly than they judge a lot of quarterbacks, especially that terrible throw he had to lose that playoff game. That was an awful throw. But I think he's a really good quarterback who's been handed 0 receivers at Penn State. I think he's going to be a top 5 pick, and I think he's going to ace the combine. I think his measurables will be off the charts. I think he's going to be a combine monster. But I also think there's something about Cade Klubnik. I think he was one of the most under-talked about quarterbacks in the country this year. Like he's just really, really, really fucking good. I like something about his game. I don't know about it. I'm not saying Arch because I do actually kind of agree with the chat a little bit and saying I'd like to see it from Arch before I declare him my number 1 pick, but I understand why Kayce called him her number 1 pick. So I like Cade Klubnik a lot. I like Drew Aller a lot. So I would probably hedge my bets and be somewhere in the middle. But if you put a gun in my head to pick somebody, I like Cade Klubnik a lot. Now, are you going a different direction than all of us?
Yeah, I was swerving in a different direction because I'm thinking of all the hypotheticals that could happen. Arch Manning could very well just not enter a draft.
Yeah.
Drew Aller could be if the Browns are picking at 1, Drew Aller could be the guy, the Ohio kid. Bring him back to Cleveland. That could be a big storyline. Nussmeier's another one too. I think Nussmeier and Aller will just the measurables and everything and the NFL size and the arms are gonna, like I've said, fare better in the camps of the NFL teams and everything. So I think that those guys are possibilities. But what if the Browns don't get the number 1 pick? Well, if it's the Titans picking at 1 again, or what if the Browns are picking at 1 again, but they're very happy with Shedeur or Gabriel or whoever their quarterback is. So who would the non-quarterback be? Caleb Downs is the best player in the class, but it doesn't matter. You're not taking a safety at 1, which you could say is a bit ridiculous because a safety can impact the game in so many different ways,
right?
From a physical standpoint and a psychological standpoint when you're playing chess.
But in a draft that might have 5 to 7 first-round quarterbacks, you're not taking a safety.
So you can't do it. So Caleb's going to fall a little bit, and to no fault of his own, he's going to be a potential just incredible player. Whatever. TJ Parker, you're looking at a guy who's 6'3", 6'4", 265, has all the measurables you want, playing at Clemson. In the ACC, he's got 2 great years of production so far. He had people don't realize, I don't think he had 6 forced fumbles last season. This is a guy that when he hits you, he will send you to the other sideline, just leaning over, hunching over, praying for the breath thing you get, the oxygen. Yes, this is a guy that's got elite finishing power, big time viciousness, just everything he does is so good. I think TJ Parker's the complete package. I like this guy's going 1 or 2 in my opinion. So I'd be cool saying him here. If this is another James Pierce situation, which there's no way it can be, he's a completely different player. TJ Parker's in the NFL for a long time, making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just killing quarterbacks.
After this bad draft we just had, and it was a bad draft. It really was. I think next year's draft has a chance to be really exciting. And then 2 years from now, when Jeremiah Smith hits the draft and Ryan Williams hits the draft and DJ Lagway hits the draft, like
Cam Coleman.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of the kid from Texas.
Wingo.
Yeah, there's just a shit ton of exciting players coming up in the next 2 drafts. I think the next 2 drafts are going to be so much better from both the college football perspective and an NFL perspective. We spent the entire process of this draft talking about a 5th round pick. We just did. Everybody did. And we're not going to have that problem the next 2 years, I don't think.
What did you think about, going back to the draft too, because we obviously talked about Travis Hunter a lot. What did you think about the Browns trading that pick to give him to Jacksonville?
I thought the Browns, this is one of those trades I think was brilliant from both sides. If you're the Jacksonville Jags and you're 30 years in and you're still trying to get attention in Jacksonville, you're still trying to prove you're a major NFL team and all that, and you're still, the glow of Trevor Lawrence is kind of worn off. Yeah, use some draft capital and go get you somebody that looks to be a super duper star. Travis Hunter could be a super duper star if used right and if developed right, and if he plays both ways. He could be a franchise cornerstone guy that you put on the poster that you sell tickets with. And meanwhile, the Browns, who have a lot of holes to fill, got a 12 to 15-year starter on the defensive line to bolster that, and got a 1st round pick for next year's loaded-ass draft. I like that Jacksonville said, fuck it, we're going to go get a guy. I like that Cleveland said, fuck it, we're not changing our franchise with this draft, but next year we could be prepared to move up or prepared because the Jacksonville pick could be pretty good. Like they're going to be in position for a loaded quarterback draft next year. If Shedeur doesn't break through this year, if Dylan Gabriel doesn't break through, if Joe Flacco, whatever, they've got a lot of question marks at quarterback. If none of them get answered, they got draft capital now to use next year. I thought it was a brilliant trade by both. Is that crazy, Big F?
No, I liked it. I think I liked it more for the Browns because I think there's a very good chance the Jags stink.
Yeah.
And I think there's a very strong possibility that they stink. And I think there's a very, very good chance they have 2 top 10 picks in a stacked draft when they probably will need a quarterback. Let's call it. It's weird because I like half of the Browns draft. I love Harold Fannin. I hate the Dylan Gabriel pick, but I like Shedeur in the 5th round. Like, also, one thing I just wanted to bring up briefly because we didn't bring it up before we went to an ad real quick. The Browns ownership 100% made them pick Shedeur Sanders. We all agree on that.
100%. Yes.
They didn't look happy when they picked him, to be honest.
I mean, also just to pick Dylan Gabriel and then pick Travis Hunter. Pick Shedeur Sanders, but 2 rounds later, when there was no quarterbacks that went off the board in between them. The Browns consecutively took quarterbacks off the board in this draft. There is no way that Jimmy Haslam did not say, you're taking Shedeur Sanders here. It is what it is.
Someone Gatsby says, why not a safety? Downs is a game changer because the most important position in football is the quarterback, and there will be 5 to 7 great quarterbacks in next year's draft. So you're not picking a safety. And if you were to pick, if you have the number 1 pick and you said, you know what, I want Caleb Downs, then you can probably trade down to 3 or 4 and get him. And get some draft capital. I just don't see a world where Caleb Downs, even though he's right, Caleb Downs is probably the best football player in the class.
Pound for pound, I own. It might not be close.
He's not going. He's just not going number 1. I just can't believe that. Not in a. If he were to go 1 and then you go, I'm just using quarterbacks' names for example. You go, Arch and then Klubnik and then whoever, Drew Al or whatever. Him going over quarterbacks is just not going to happen because whoever's drafting in that 5 range is going to want to get up and get one of them.
I think next year there's going to be enough quarterback needy teams. I'd be shocked if it was a non-quarterback that went and won.
That was another thing that hurt Shedeur. This is probably the fewest QB needy teams I've seen in a long time. There was like, if you went into the draft, there's legitimately 4 teams I think that you can make an argument they need a quarterback and they need one right now. The Raiders were QB needy, the Browns were QB needy, the Saints were QB needy, and I'm missing one. But that's just not a lot of QB needy teams. And once you got past the first round, nobody's picking him in the second round. Nobody else who doesn't have a quarterback need is picking a guy that high. So it kind of, there's a lot. Steelers, thank you very much. That's correct. And they're probably signing Aaron Rodgers. So
I mean, Brandon, think of it like this: in the last 3 drafts, there's been 11 quarterbacks taken in the top 12.
Yeah.
In the last 3 drafts. So
yeah,
those teams alone are pretty much, they're not going to take one.
They're still playing it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is the last, but I think next year it'll open up because I think Colts will need a quarterback and some other teams like that'll need a quarterback.
Yeah. Can I tell you about, when's the last time you thought about your credit score? If the answer is never, you are not alone. But here's the thing. A good score can mean better rates, lower payments, and bigger opportunities. That's where Ava comes in. And Blutman, you're a young man.
Mhm.
I'm an old man. A little advice for you.
Yeah.
Take care of that credit score.
Okay.
The credit score is the key to everything. And that's where Ava comes in. Ava is a credit building app that makes it super simple to improve your credit fast so you can get better rates on loans, pay off debt faster, keep more money in your pocket. The Ava card gives you credit up to $2,500. You can use it to pay your existing bills and subscriptions automatically. Then just sit back and watch your credit climb. Ava reports your on-time payments to major credit card bureaus every day to help you build positive credit history quickly. Download the Ava app, spelled A-V-A, today. When joining, use our promo code RUFF. You'll get your first month free. This offer is available for our listeners. Get the Ava app. Use promo code RUFF to get your first month. To get your first month for free, that's promo code RUFF. Thanks to Ava, and now you get yourself good credit. And I don't know if y'all heard it just now, but I did mostly this morning. I did Yak this afternoon. I did Quick Picks, and then we recorded a 2-hour mostly special called Mexican Star Wars. And then we did this. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying if you hear my voice at the end of its rope, we used to deal with this all the time on this Air Roughness, where I would just have no voice at the end of the day. But now it's trying to show up. So what I'm trying to say is we've reached the end of our show.
Yeah, it's cracking like a 13-year-old boy right now.
Was that necessary?
Well, you said, I don't know if you heard it, and I just wanted to point out that that's what's going on, that you're not actually going through puberty, you're just losing your voice.
All right. Thank you for everybody for being here. We'll be back next time. Good crowd, by the way, we had on Twitter tonight. Good crowd. I'm looking at 17,000 people. So thank you very much.
And YouTube.
Huh?
And YouTube.
Everywhere that you can watch it, I guess.
And
Make sure to like that YouTube, huh?
Why are you hollering?
Yep.
Make sure to like that YouTube, please. I'm looking.
And as always, we're thankful for all the audio only listeners because we do have a lot of those too. So if you're listening to it, thank you.
Yeah.
Go like us on
Yeah.
YouTube.
If you DM me, I'll give you Kayce's phone number.
No, let's not do that, please, for the love of God.
That's kind.
Of who to what?
You.
Thanks. You DM me. I'll give you Kayce's number.
Send Brandon some boobs. He likes that. Actually, don't do that. He has.
No,
a
yeah,
wife.
no, Kayce, don't. No, Kayce, don't do that.
Really held him at gunpoint.
Well, I realize that
Look, Kayce, what did I do to deserve that?
you have a wife and a 26-year-old girlfriend, so I figured maybe you don't need boobs in your DMs. I don't know.
All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week. All right.